Patreon is now fully live. Um, that means you can change your membership tier if you like. Um, and sadly, it also means that the free previews are over for chapters, for videos, and other exclusives. Um, I wanted to address something. I don't like paywalls. I never have. Um, Separating readers who just buy my books and support me that way from people who contribute financially every month has never been a comfortable thing for me. But publishing is changing fast. It's really unstable right now, and it kind of has been for a couple of years. And Patreon gives you the opportunity to bring stability to that, to my income, and to my creative outlet. And it reserves space, it reserves a corner of the internet just for us. So, whereas Facebook groups used to do that and other small spots in social media, which I like to call anti-social media these days, used to do that. Same thing with forums. I find that Patreon is kind of the best spot for engagement where we can kind of make sure that the community is intact and that people can't just drop in and not knowing the community, not knowing what it's about, um, can make trouble. So the walls serve a good purpose, and that's impossible for me to deny. So after seeing AI scrape the internet for content and other people in across the globe do the same so they can train their own AIs and flood the publishing market with tens of thousands of books a week, and that's conservative, generated by artificial intelligence using this information, I decided that going behind a paywall was the best thing. It will protect my newer work, and it will give you guys an opportunity to see what I'm doing. And while I wish it was different, I wish it was the open internet and that work was safe. I've recently confirmed that 37 of my works, not all novels, some of these were short stories, were used to train at least one major LLM or AI, primitive AI, without my permission. I believe I've missed the class action suit opportunity there, but more importantly, I wanted to protect my new work, and that's that and creating a corner for us are the purposes behind this Patreon page for me. Um, Knowing my work is protected gives me the opportunity to offer you more. So my main concentration is on writing, even though you've seen me do all kinds of things in video in the last week and a half. Those are experiments. Some of them are proof of work. So people can see me writing my own work and disproving any future allegations that I'm using generative AI to make my work, my novels. Some are just simply experiments, like my walk to the book nook. That video was meaningful to me, but it was also a sort of walk and talk style that I like, even though I know I look obnoxious holding my phone out like this, walking down the sidewalk. Sometimes you have to look like a fool to entertain people in a halfway confident way. It's just true. I've known enough comedians to know that, and I've known a couple who even really did know that they were looking like a complete fool on stage, but they pushed through anyway because they were there to entertain. And they did. So I've been experimenting. That's what I used this free period for. Um, for anyone who signed up during this time at a paid tier, what I mean by the free tier is a lot of people switched over from Ream to Patreon and found that their accounts had been degraded to free instead of at the tier that they signed in at, because some of the tiers changed, and that was a way for me to make sure that they weren't billed a while ago when they weren't supposed to be billed. So they couldn't upgrade there to the tier they wanted. Now that's done. Everyone's free to move up and down tiers as they like, and billing has commenced. So the page will operate normally. Different text and video features will be put behind the paywalls at the tiers that they're intended to be at. And I'm open to any comments, considering ideas from any comments about how that should work, where these features should land. And I am looking for feedback on the experiments that I've uh, had experiments I've conducted over the last while. The live writing thing, even though not many people watch them, is something that I'll continue off and on because I do want to put proof of work out there. So anyone who looks at my work and sees that I release at least 2 books a year can see evidence that I actually do the work. I love writing, so I sit down and write the damn novels. And I especially enjoy typing the novels, the freak that I am. Dictating did not do it for me. Telling the story aloud was fun, but it was totally different in here. So I like typing. I actually like editing, so I wouldn't even switch to dictation for that. And most of the time I try to pay as much attention word by word to my edits as possible. And that means I'm also revising. So I still get typos out the other end. And that is why I really appreciate people pointing them out when I post chapters for the serials. That's kind of a big deal. So the serials won't stop. If I haven't already said that, it's important that I do. I want to put out at least 2 chapters a week. Sometimes I'm going to skip a day here and there because I need a moment for all kinds of reasons. Sometimes it's just a moment to reconsider where the story is going, or do extra planning because my outline got tossed mid-book because I found other ideas, better ideas. And yeah, I guess there are all kinds of reasons to skip a day, but I don't do it often because I really don't like it. And I know you don't like it either. So if we can agree we don't like something, let's try not to do it very often. Anyway, after stating the obvious, I guess I'd like to, yeah, make it clear that I really do want to see comments on about what you liked out of the last couple of weeks of experimentation with videos. Of course, most of you are here for the serials, so I know you like that. For the top tier, which is the aficionado level, they get access to the entire library. Um, and that costs so much, $21 a month, because um, I don't want um, people to jump into Patreon here for $7 and download all of the books that are available, because all my books are now available on ebook format on this site in a store. But at $7, you unlock the first 14 Spindrift Fringe books, so you can just download those whenever you want. And at $21, you get access to everything. So someone could sign up and just grab all the books and then cancel their account. It's totally possible. It's happened before. But at the $7 tier, I'm comfortable with people getting the first 14. At 21, I'm comfortable with them getting everything. So that's basically why that's set up that way, but I'm willing to discuss it. Right. So I believe that You are all here with good intentions, though. You followed me across from Ream, or you never left Patreon and you just are happy that my page is back, or you're coming here fresh and you just want to support me and see what's behind that paywall. I believe that's the case, that you're here honestly and that you're not here to just get a deal on a bunch of books. Even if you are, well, like I said, I set things up so I'm comfortable with you getting um, access to what you do at whatever tier you come in on. Now, the trick is that Patreon is malleable. What you get for what you put in can change. And I want to offer more on the page. That's one of the reasons why I started doing video, because I lost a bunch of weight, got more comfortable with myself, and now I'm here. And sadly, YouTube is as much a social media site as any other. And authors who want to grow their readership, many of them are expected, especially by younger readers, between the ages of, say, 15 and 30, to have a visual presence on the internet. So here I am doing that, and I'm using the practice that I've gotten in video in the last week or two to make this video, which is really just a big explainer on what's going on the page and an opportunity to thank you for being here. It is so important that I have more consistent support financially, and after interacting with more people while making videos, sort of socially at a distance. It is absolutely critical. I believe my career and my mental health will be better if I'm more interactive with my readers, with all of you, because all I've seen in the last couple of weeks is more positivity, less reason to fear. And with that kind of support, when a bad egg comes along, I believe I'll be prepared. I already have a thick skin, so I can let that roll off my back to a great extent, but it's always surprising. And with the support that I found in the last couple of weeks, I think it'll be even easier to actually face someone who is not here for the same reasons that you are. But before I should wrap this up because it's already 4 times as long as I intended. So if you enjoyed any part of what was going on in the last couple of weeks, please tell me about it in the comments. And if you're not comfortable with commenting in the open, feel free to send me a private message through Patreon. And right, one more thing. Right now, as in today, I will be writing one of the last chapters of Rogue Clipper. And I'm going to miss these characters a lot more than I thought. They were a lot of fun to write. They crept into my head sometimes when I wasn't writing, which was fun. I'm not going crazy, faster than normal. And yeah, I'm going to miss these characters, but I am looking forward to writing what comes next, which will be a short story. I will publish something short and sweet here sometime in the next month or two, and that'll be exclusive for months or years. Um, it'll also be very open to critique. So, what else? After that, and that is going to be a very short break from my regular writing schedule, I will begin Legion, which is this Spinward Fringe Broadcast 21. This series has gone longer than I could have ever expected, and Legion continues the previous series while giving new readers a place to start. I know I'm a different writer from the guy who started writing science fiction in 2008 after writing nothing but horror and fantasy before that. I want readers to have an opportunity to jump in at the beginning of Legion and find this universe. Very well developed, if I say so myself, um, with characters who have deep relationships. So Legion is, in a way, a new beginning, but it's also very much a continuation of the past because the intent in Legion, which has become a planned trilogy, um, is to wrap up a lot of things that have been happening in the ongoing story. Of course, that'll result in new ideas, but the concentration will be on good conclusions or horrific conclusions. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to tell you anything about exactly what will come because I hate spoilers. And while that's going on, as time permits, I'll continue shooting videos, hopefully getting better at it. Other than that, I'm open to suggestions in terms of what you would like to see in the future. I mean, as in things I'm not already doing regularly. So if you have a recommendation, an example of a creator doing something you'd like to see me doing, um, or just an idea that seems to come out of nowhere that you'd like to share, go ahead. The worst thing I can say is it's not for me. Other than that, thank you very much for being here. I would like to grow Patreon for you in terms of content, and I would eventually like to have a thriving community that not only enjoys what I do, but on my side of things enables me to be freer, to explore more interesting ideas, and not take a major hit every time the publishing world takes an extreme left or right, like it's doing right now. So, stability does actually foster good creativity if creativity is your habit. And for well over a decade, creativity has been my habit. So, I am grateful to have people here who want to see what I do. And welcome back. I'm happy to be here.